We are becoming cyborgs. Like, we are fundamentally different from Homo sapiens. I call us Homo techno. I think we have evolved into Homo techno, which is like essentially a new species.
You might have seen a video floating around social media recently from a company called EctoLife. And this has been a giant mechanical baby breeding factory, and people have pointed to it saying, this looks an awful lot like the Matrix, let's not live in this.
And here's a story straight out of science fiction, replacing human pregnancies with artificial wombs. I know the idea sounds dystopian, but it may be a fast-approaching reality. Dutch scientists are working on it.
Now, we all know that our corporate overlords and our oligarchs want control over our food, medicine, intellect, decision-making process. But what if I told you that they're also developing a way to control the process of our own procreation?
Okay, so the state wants to disrupt your family life. I think that is abundantly obvious by now. The state wants to be your mommy, it wants to be your daddy, it wants to be the mommy and the daddy to your children. They have made this incredibly clear. And when we talk about science and the inventions and things that are happening, you start to realize that it's becoming, well, dystopian.
At what point is science fiction no longer fiction? Hashim al-Ghaili, born August 11th, 1990, is a science communicator and biotechnologist. Not only does he inform the world on the most recent scientific research and breakthroughs, but he actually plays a part in them as well. Ghaili, ironically, is also a science fiction film director and producer, having worked on both the 2019 short film Simulation as well as his upcoming motion picture, Orbital. Why is this ironic exactly? Recently, Ghaili has unveiled one of his latest projects, and despite how science fiction this announcement is, there's nothing fiction about it.
Introducing EctoLife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy.
EctoLife will be a series of facilities created for the purpose of housing hundreds of artificial wombs, essentially growth pods that will be used to carry developing fetuses. According to Ghaili, the goal of EctoLife is nothing but an altruistic one. Around 300,000 women die from pregnancy complications. EctoLife's artificial womb is designed to alleviate human suffering and reduce the chances of C-sections. And Ghaili isn't wrong about these facts either. A large number of women do tragically die from childbirth, often leaving behind widowed fathers who not only must cope with the loss of their significant other, but must also bear the responsibility of raising a child all on their own. EctoLife also potentially benefits couples who are unable to procreate on their own, whether they be victims of cancer or infertility. The complete elimination of reproductive or labor issues could lead to the largest surge of childbirths in recorded history. EctoLife has declared in their mission statement that they plan to grow 30,000 babies a year. They're looking to build facilities in Japan, Bulgaria, and South Korea, and other countries suffering from severe population decline. As far-fetched an idea like this might sound, the odds of achieving something like this are higher now than they've ever been. EctoLife facilities will be powered by artificial intelligence. Each growth pod will have sensors that can monitor a developing baby's vitals. Nutrients and oxygen will be delivered automatically to the baby's pod, while waste will be eliminated via a central bioreactor. When a single EctoLife facility can potentially hold 30,000 babies, AI is a no-brainer in this scenario. What's going to be cheaper? Hiring hundreds of engineers to check on thousands of fetuses, or using a single AI that can monitor them all at once? This is how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the world as we know it. It's very similar to the internet, actually. What once was a niche concept that not many people had access to, now is essential to the daily lives of people and businesses around the world. AI programs like ChatGPT, DALL-E, or Mid-Journey are beginning to pop up all around the internet. These programs allow people to write entire blog posts or create art at the touch of a button. A program like Jasper, for instance, can do all of these things in a very streamlined manner, allowing the user to adjust things like the genre and format of a script, or the art style and tone of a painting. If you want to see it for yourself, We've supplied a link to Jasper in the description below. We even used Jasper to write parts of this script. Or did we? You'll never be able to tell the difference. This is why so many businesses like EctoLife are relying on this technology so heavily. Combined with the assurance that EctoLife will be fueled entirely by renewable energy, and it's hard to deny that EctoLife only seems like a win-win. It provides parents with a safe and guaranteed means to give birth, all performed efficiently with AI technology with no cost to the environment. Why then has there been such a negative, public outcry to EctoLife? Why does it seem that the first, natural response to EctoLife from most people seems to be that of shock, disdain, or even disgust?
First question, before we go any further about your real-life Matrix baby factory, that energy better be renewable, because your fucking soul isn't. Perhaps this is why we live in times of delirium, where we're uncertain about how we're supposed to live and who we're supposed to be. And to clarify, I believe that people should be able to express themselves however they want to and identify however they want to. But the industrialization and technologization of the most natural processes that are afforded to us, I don't think is going to lead to a utopia. When you look at this, do you think utopia's on its way?
The truth is that on the surface, EctoLife seems like a concept born from a philosophy of goodwill. But when you plunge your hands into the murky, cold depths of EctoLife, you find a never-ending abyss of existential crisis. EctoLife seems like it can solve a lot of short-term issues, but for every problem it solves, it creates another, some of which could prove to be detrimental or even catastrophic for us. EctoLife has been happy to spell out everything it has to offer to its customers. Germ-free growth chambers, a live stream that allows you to check in on your baby, speakers that can play music and sounds to your baby, an elite package that lets you change your baby's physical strength and intelligence, a haptic suit that lets you feel… Hold on, can we rewind a little bit?
And if you want your baby to stand out and have a brighter future, our Elite package offers you the opportunity to genetically engineer the embryo before implanting it into the artificial womb. Thanks to CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool, you can edit any trait of your baby through a wide range of over 300 genes.
Traits that could prove vital to where you end up in society, intelligence, physical strength, beauty, no longer decided by nature or fate, but by how much your parents cared to spend on you when they put you in a birth pod. EctoLife's MO is to save lives, but when you look deeper, you understand why that is, so they can profit off of the lives they save. It's no surprise that a service like this is only presented to the elite because they have the most money to spend. If EctoLife were to become the main means by which people had children, the vast majority of truly exceptional people would come from those that can afford it. This has to be some kind of oversight, right? Surely this is something that al-Ghaili and the people at EctoLife are ignorant to. The answer, most likely, is no. EctoLife is undoubtedly made by incredibly smart individuals. It seems impossible that a dystopian possibility like this wouldn't have occurred to them. In fact, it seems like this is exactly what they want: reliance. EctoLife is a program that essentially asks you as a parent to hand over you and your baby's independence in exchange for convenience. And sure, no labor pain, no pregnancy cramps. Of course the idea is alluring. It's meant to be. But there's a major thing you need to keep in mind. You are handing over your baby's growth and development to a business. And rest assured, this is a cold and calculated business. If we were to rely on EctoLife for a process that, for all of human history, has been done naturally and independently for the most part, at that point you're looking at the monopolization of childbirth. Let me say that again. The monopolization of childbirth. A corporation would essentially be holding all of the cards for countless generations of humans. And the thing about corporations is that they can be easily corrupted, whether it be through the wealthy or even the government. While EctoLife talks about saving lives, it's entirely possible it could also be making the lives of certain individuals much more miserable. Let me ask you a question. When aspiring parents who are unable to conceive are now given the ability to do so through EctoLife, What happens to the orphan that would have been adopted by those parents had EctoLife not existed? There are an estimated 153 million orphans worldwide. It seems a bit unrealistic that that number would go down when something like EctoLife exists. Double this with a predicted boom in birth rates, and it could be possible that what once was a population decline could turn into an unprecedented population growth, bringing its own list of detrimental setbacks. Water and food shortages, population congestion, the cost to the environment of having to build so many new homes for such an influx of people living on the planet. At the end of the day, no one is forcing you to do this, but you are also just one person, and if EctoLife were to be deemed the new standard by society, what exactly does that mean? What does it mean for the safety of developing children? What does it mean for the generations of children who will be born this way? But perhaps the most frightening of them all, what does it say for our evolution process? There is a very, very real possibility that if EctoLife is able to become a widespread service, it could set us down an evolutionary path that would end with us as a species being unable to reproduce without the aid of a machine. Already, we know that humans have a few vestigial body parts thanks to evolution: our appendix, our wisdom teeth, our tonsils. What happens when we no longer need our reproductive organs to continue our lineage? Imagine if some kind of catastrophe were to occur in the far, distant future that would leave the humans of that time with no technology and thus no means by which to carry forward their genes to a new generation, effectively spelling the end for us. What happens when we completely hand over something as basic and primordial as the act of making babies to a cold, heartless machine?
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox. But your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
I mean, how can we stand in the light of discovery and not act?
Oh, what's so great about discovery? It's a violent, penetrative act that scars what explores what you call discovery. I call the rape of the natural world.
Thank you guys for watching. Please, let us know in the comments what you think about EctoLife. Do you think it will save us or spell our doom? We're dying to hear what you guys think. As always, if you want to stay up to date on the newest tech, then be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. From all of us here at TechNeo, thanks for watching.